Welcome to the Uncommon Sense Podcast. I am Jay Green, Jay Howard Green, your host, along with my co-host, Michael B. Wright Sr. Michael B., how you doing, man?
No, I'm cracking lacking, man. How about your side there, Jay?
Hey, man, I'm cracking lacking, man, hanging in there, fed a millet, partly cloud.
That boy. I know, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So what's going on with you, Michael B?
Man, shoot, I'm trying to be like Jay Howard every day, man. If I can do that, I'd be doing all right.
Oh man, I tell you, boy, if I could be like the professor, Michael B. Wright.
Oh, do better than that, man. Do better.
Well,
I
the funeral for Brother Wells was it today or it was
think it was
yesterday?
yesterday. Yesterday.
Yesterday. So I
Mm-hmm.
thoughts and prayers out to the family, man, and
Most definitely,
really
man.
the family get justice on this thing because something ain't right, bro. Something ain't right in the milk.
Oh, it's never red in the milk. And that's the and that's the prayer, man. I mean, the bottom line is that those in charge and those of us who are on the outside need to keep pressure on the system
Yeah,
um, the best way we can. But definitely don't let them sweep this under the rug, man.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
Mm.
Like, don't let this one sweep you under the rug.
Mm.
That's happening in California. They have a Black English initiative going on in
Oh,
California.
oh, really?
Hmm. Hmm.
That part,
And
that
it's
part.
starting with the early care babies. Hmm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So let me go to the beautiful bean footage right now here on the Uncommon Sense Podcast.
Have y'all heard about the Black English initiative over in California? I came across this article and I saw a few other content creators cover it, and I said, we've hit the bottom. I've been talking lately about the contempt that white liberals have for Black America, and they are like so low down that now they are so blatantly obvious. This initiative, it is currently not law in California, but what it is, it's rather, let me be precise. It's rather an advocacy effort led by several educational organizations that are trying to influence California's early childhood education policies. I said, wait a minute. So this is not like some high school elective where we're just kind of playing around with, Black jargon. They want to introduce this Black English as a part of early childhood educational development. I said, well, what is the best way to ruin the babies that are already at the bottom?
So in
Mm.
other words,
Mm-mm.
we gonna teach the babies to speak ebonically
Yeah, Black
starting
English.
off.
Mm. I know such a thing as Black English, but I guess it is.
I guess
You
it
can't
is,
make this.
brother.
You can't make this stuff up.
But brother,
Yeah.
this even takes you back to you just got to say it. It takes you back to slavery,
Oh yeah.
where
Oh yeah.
they didn't want us to read. They didn't want us to get
Mm-hmm.
educated.
Mm-hmm.
So now what you're saying, okay, we're gonna take the English, we gonna take black English and give this to these babies, the black English, and now the babies won't be able to speak intelligently now or read.
Uh, that part.
Yeah,
Well, again, I'm still shocked to find that there's a Black English.
a black English, right? Now
They
I
don't really
know
have that.
Now I know in America you got black and white, and you got two justices,
Yeah.
but I didn't know there was two Englishes, right?
I guess it would sound right if you got two everything else. I guess it's not even a different color code that one too. Then so, so yeah, man,
Wow,
please, yeah,
wow.
believe it however you want. Believe it however you want.
Like you said, we can't make this up, bro. You can't
Nah,
make
man.
this up. Mm-mm.
But it's all about again keeping people in an ignorant state. You know,
Yeah.
When we was coming up, when your mama taught you how to talk proper,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
because there's a time for slang, and there's a
Yeah.
time for proper English. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody knows that of any kind of critical thinking, but these babies now, they've been
Mm.
told y'all got black English, so
Black English.
you can't make this up.
No, can't make this up at all. So let's play a little game here. Let's
Mm.
play a little true and false game here when it comes to black and white. And so if we're gonna do this black English thing, we might well do this too.
All right, player.
Let's do it.
If a random white person in this country and a random black person in this country go to get their home appraised, right? Why is it that the black person is much more likely to get a lower value on their home appraisal?
Because they live in a different neighborhood?
Okay, great. We'll get to that in a second because that's wrong. Black people in this country were enslaved for at least 240 years. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and after slavery ended, you had about 100 more years at least of Jim Crow and legal segregation, where government at the federal, state, and local level blocked black people from owning land, from getting bank loans, from living in certain neighborhoods, from attending certain schools. All of that happened too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my question to you is simple. Name the year that the playing field became completely even. I want you to give me a date.
I mean, if you're looking at
For home loans, you brought, I think we talked about home loans and appraisals. For home loans, what year did it become equal?
well, according to the DEI movement in 1991, when they imposed disparate impact.
So you're telling me today that if a black person goes and applies for a home loan, they have the same likelihood of getting accepted for that loan as a white person does?
If you're asking me a person that lives next door to another person, if one is white and one is black and they go both apply for a loan, do I expect different outcomes? No. And if there are, then it should be enforced under discrimination laws.
So you're talking about rules, I'm talking about outcomes. So let's play a game of true and false, and let's start with wealth disparities. The median net worth of a white household in this country is $285,000. The median net worth of a black household is about $45,000. True or false?
I don't know.
Okay, you came here as an expert today in a DEI hearing, and you don't know that? Basic facts about wealth accumulation in this country? All right, let's go to the next one. For every $100 in wealth held by white families, black families hold about $15. True or false?
Again, I don't know those specific numbers.
Okay, well, I have data here. It's true. So we know that the answer here isn't just that black people believe in saving less than white people do, right? It's that government in this country has put one set of folks in a better position to succeed than other people. And it was the law for a very, very long time. And it became ingrained in our institutions. Government was part of the problem. And so it has to now be part of the solution.
So it's kind of funny how when we play the game of true and false, that somebody just doesn't have an answer for the question.
No, they got an answer. that ain't the problem. They got an answer.
They got an answer.
They got an answer. They just don't want to say the answer that they got. You know,
Right,
that's
right,
what,
right.
That's what that is.
And when did DEI have a movement?
Man, you never had a movement, but hey, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, DEI benefited again the other persuasion more than it did, black folks.
Exactly.
So I don't see what movement it did for
Mm,
those who they say was designed.
right,
Diversity,
right,
equity, and inclusion. Again,
right.
that was not designed for us. We just
But right,
slipped
when
in,
did we
slipped
get
in when we can.
but
Hmm?
when did we get an equal playing field?
You never even playing field.
No.
You came over here unequal, and you've been unequal ever since. You've been unequal ever since, that boy.
Yes, sir.
So nah.
And
And
if
then,
it continues the way it is, you're gonna continue to be unequal.
again, Dr. Claude Anson told you, man, and this was back in what 1997, 98.
798, yeah.
Doc said, "Look here, if y'all don't fix this and fix this fast, blacks will be a permanent underclass." He said, "You got to have a permanent underclass for capitalism to work, and if you don't have one, you got to create one." And he said,
Mm.
"Congratulations, you've been picked." So if so again, if we don't fix it, it's probably too late. But he said, if you didn't fix it, man, in the next 10 years, you're going to be a permanent underclass. And that's
Mm,
what they're going for, bro.
mm.
Dr. Claude Allen told you that, man.
So now we're in the midst of an election year, right?
Mm.
So we always got this thing called voter suppression, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I have a sister named Dr. Carol Anderson.
Mm.
She broke down the Governor Kemp voter suppression on how
Oh,
all
Lord.
that happened.
That part.
So, are we gonna go through that again?
Oh,
Okay.
you already in it.
You're already in it right now.
Just saying.
Well, here's Dr. Carol breaking this thing down and saying, this ain't new. Where
Mm.
y'all coming at thinking this new?
He
Right.
signed that piece of legislation surrounded by white men under a picture of a plantation. Right before the 2018 gubernatorial election, Kemp is still the Secretary of State. He sent 53,000 voters, put them on hold, put their registration on hold. The vast majority of those voters were African Americans, something like 70% or so. After the 2020 election, the Georgia state legislature is saying we have to have election integrity. And so they come up with SB 202 that figures out all of these ways to block black people from voting.
I was as frustrated as anyone else with the results, especially at the federal level. And we did something about it with Senate Bill 202.
Then he signed that piece of legislation surrounded by white men under a picture of a plantation. The key thing about SB 202 looked at drop boxes. Drop boxes were one of the key methods that people used in order to be able to vote. But the lie became, oh, those drop boxes, that's where all the fraud is. But even during the hearings, they made it clear that they couldn't find any fraud with those drop boxes. It was also legislation that if you voted out of your precinct, it didn't count because a vast majority of those who were voting out of precinct were African Americans. The language that they used in the hearings was that we want to make sure people aren't disfranchised. We want to make sure that their full vote counts. And so they have to vote in their precinct in order to be able for their vote to count. And where you live, which is where your precinct is, may not be where you work. Voting out of precinct allowed people to cast their ballots for governor. It allowed them to cast their ballots for U.S. senators. It allowed them to cast their ballot for these statewide offices. So they couldn't vote on their local school board if they're voting out of precinct. They couldn't vote on the city council if they're voting out of precinct. Yeah, we've done this dance before. Yes.
We've done this dance before, though.
Yes, we have. Man, we keep doing the same thing. You're doing the same dance.
Is it that we're dancing with the same partner? We need to,
I'm just playing the
or,
same
or we
music.
need to do a different dance.
Man, you need to get off the dance floor. What that is, that's not your dance floor. You just
Right,
need to get off
right.
the floor. But yeah, man, I mean these midterms now, of course, again, the speech that your boy gave a few days ago came with the same message as far as vote integrity and da 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 da.
Da, da, da,
Um,
da.
yeah, everybody knows it's bull. You know, I'm trying to keep my word right. Make sure I'm saying nothing wrong on camera. Everybody knows it's bullshit, you know.
Bullshit.
But he gonna keep running take. Now, again, it's kind of interesting to me that no one has brought this to bear. You know, with the media, you know, the Republican parties, they basically have locked down everything. The
Yeah.
government, as far as legislation, as far as executive branch, as far as judicial branch, all that's up under the auspices of the Republican Party. So at this point, I don't see what they keep, you know, harping about in anger, because whatever's not going right,
Hmm.
they're responsible for it. I mean, you're in
Right,
control
right.
of all three branches. So I mean,
Exactly.
if there's something's wrong, uh, quite easily to say that you're the cause of it because you're the one that's in the lead.
Right.
Um, so again, I don't understand the conversation. I do understand it, you know, but again, there's people are not winning the argument of crafting the message. That's why I'm kind of, you know, perplexed about my Democratic Party. You know, I'm independent, so whatever.
You
I don't
better
understand.
be.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, I don't understand how they cannot, you know, craft a message at this point. You got so much ammunition out here, man. It's absolutely pitiful. But for some reason, them capturing this moment, you know, putting it in articulated in a different way, running videos, you know, shorts. I mean, they got a plethora of things you can
Right.
run to run this thing down the pike, man. But for some reason, man, it's just I'm not seeing it. Maybe somewhere that I don't see, but right now I just don't see it.
No, I don't see it either, brother. I don't see it either. It's like we keep running the same play
Hmm.
year after year, election after election, and you're hoping that maybe you'll get in, or maybe you'll get elected, or maybe we'll take over. but you can't do that, especially when the other side is in control.
That and when you have the same people, quote unquote, in
Exactly.
charge that's running the same plays. I mean, Albert Einstein told you, no
Hmm.
problem can be solved on the same conscious level by which it was created. So therefore,
Therefore,
if you got the same consciousness at the table, then you're gonna
mhm,
have the same freaking problem. So
that's
that's the
right.
whole point. I mean,
Mm,
you cannot solve a problem with the same consciousness that started it. And so if you got the same strategists, you got the same type of leaders
right.
that's over these parties, you're gonna get the same results, man, because nothing changes unless you change the minds at the table.
So now let's talk about the dark money network then.
No, you gonna be all night.
With your boy Leonard Leo.
You're gonna be all night, boy.
And how he set that thing up to where he put in
Mm-hmm.
six of the Supreme Court justice,
I told you, man.
six of them,
That's where it is, that boy.
six of the nine.
6 of the 9, man.
So when the vote comes down,
Mm.
you always gonna be short.
I'm trying to tell you,
I'm
man.
trying to tell you, Doc. Strategy, Doc. Strategy.
Gotcha, player.
Here
And
we go.
bless you.
Here we go. Leonard Leo.
You've never heard of Leonard Leo. That's exactly how he wants it. He has never held elected office, never been confirmed by the Senate, never once had to answer to you. But he has personally placed 6 of the 9 justices currently sitting on the United States Supreme Court. And his dark money network has funded nearly half of the organizations behind Project 2025, the plan you've been watching execute in real time across every episode of this series. He didn't write Project 2025. He paid for it. And the people who did write it, Kevin Roberts, Paul Dans, Russ Fott, Stephen Miller, they all operate inside the machine Leonard Leo built and financed. This is his story, and it starts with one speech. It's 1985. Leonard Leo is an undergraduate intern on the Senate Judiciary Committee in Washington. He walks into a luncheon hosted by a small conservative legal group called the Federalist Society and hears Reagan's Attorney General, Edwin Meese, say something that changes the direction of his life. Meese tells the room that the Supreme Court has been stolen, that liberal judges have been using the Constitution as a blank check, inventing new rights, rewriting the law from the bench. He calls it the danger of seeing the Constitution as an empty vessel into which each generation may pour its passion and prejudice. And he announces that the Reagan administration is going to take the courts back by filling them with judges who interpret the Constitution exactly as it was written in 1787. Leo later said that speech had an enormous impact on his thinking. That's an understatement. He returns to Cornell, founds a Federalist Society chapter in 1986, and brings Meese in to speak. His classmates ignore it. Conservative legal theory at that time was considered fringe. In 1987, Leo watches the Senate defeat Robert Bork's Supreme Court nomination. He doesn't see a policy debate. He sees a tactical failure and decides the right needs to win confirmation fights permanently. He graduates law school in 1989, clerks at the D.C. Circuit, and meets a judge named Clarence Thomas. They become close friends, close enough that Thomas later becomes the godfather of one of Leo's children. In 1991, Leo joins the Federalist Society full-time, but delays his start to help Thomas survive his Senate confirmation hearings. The organization has 2 student chapters and a $100,000 budget. Leo turns it into something else entirely. He builds lawyers' chapters in cities across the country so members stay connected after graduation, turning a student debating club into a national network with direct lines into the White House, the Justice Department, and the federal judiciary. And that's when the real work begins. In Part 10b, I'll show you exactly how Leonard Leo used that machine to buy the Supreme Court, justice by justice, and who was paying for it. Like, follow, and share. The more people who see this, the harder it is for them to keep getting away with it.
Man. So affirmative action, that's where your boy Clarence Thomas.
Man, please.
Mm,
He rode that train all the way to the Supreme Court, man.
all the way to the
And
Supreme.
then he derailed that sucker, boy.
He derailed it, Doc.
He derailed that sucker,
Derailed.
man. Yep. Yep.
Wow.
But again,
Okay.
this goes back to Claude Anderson. He told you that you don't be concerned about your Congress as far as senators and stuff like that. He told you. He
No.
said the ones you better be concerned about are these judges, the ones that can mess with your liberty
Yes.
and your life. That's what he said. He
Right.
said the ones that can mess with your liberty and your life, those are the ones who you better be concerned about. And here we go.
Here we go. Here we
Here
go.
we go.
And we concerned about, okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
somebody was there on for 4 years, and you got Clarence in there.
who been there
But
forever?
yeah, there for life, man.
Yeah.
Cannot be removed unless you are impeached. Come on,
Are
man.
you impeach? And then some people like, well, I hope they get terms. No, they're not gonna get term limits. They're not gonna do that.
Out of the past 250 years, y'all call this a democracy. When have they ever had term limits? Okay, then.
Never.
All right, then. I'm gonna let y'all think about that and call me in
Yes,
the
sir.
morning.
Yes, sir. And matter of fact, talking about legal things, talking about judges, there's a
Mm,
new law coming in
mm.
town. And I believe it's 2027
Now,
with new cars.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah. That's why
let me
I'm
have my
staying with mine. I'm gonna ride mine till the wheels fall off. It will
yeah,
do at least 200,000 miles
boy.
because this is crazy right here on
My
27.
my.
Every car will legally be able to scan your face, read your lips, and determine how emotional you are starting 2027. And it won't just be legal to do, but it will be required for all new vehicles starting 2027. Yeah. Ford alone already filed 4 new patents. Okay. One is to read your lips. So they will be able to transcribe everything you say, whether you're in the vehicle or not. 2 will be able to scan your retina to your ID just to verify you are who you say you are. 3 will be able to detect how emotional you are. And then 4, they will be able to gather all that information and determine whether you're allowed to drive your car or not. Yeah. And then simultaneously, we also have manufacturers who are lobbying Congress for all of us to not be able to work on our vehicles' electronics. And then you wonder why all those junkyards just caught fire recently, you know? Anyway, you also have Illinois, who just passed a House Bill 4948 that says if you get 2 speeding tickets in 1 year, they will install a tracking device in your car that will track you for up to 3 years. What the hell is going on? Now, I'm wondering, do you really think all this data they collect of us in our car is just going to be locked up in our car? Absolutely not. This data is going to be sold to auto insurers, to health insurers, to life insurers, you name it. If you're someone planning on getting a new car in 2027, don't think it's just a new car. No, it's a full-on tracking device.
A new tracking device.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go nowhere. You can't say nothing.
Man, this is no lie, man. This is no lie. Karen took her car in to get service.
Mm-hmm.
Alexis.
Yeah.
So they gave her a loaner. All right.
Mm-hmm.
She's driving back, and
Mm-hmm.
this thing tells her, 'cause she looked away at the side mirror or something. She said that the car said you are distracted right now.
What?
This was a 2026 Lexus. The baby turned her head to look at the side mirror and said, and the thing told her you are distracted right now. And the thing
Oh,
about it is, if you're distracted more than 3 times in that car,
yeah.
it literally shuts itself off.
It shuts itself off. Bruh. Okay.
This is actual factual. Matter of fact, when the car said you distracted, it scared the heck out of her.
No, it did. No.
Bruh, let me tell you something. See, y'all with these smart cars, give me a dumb car any day.
Any day. Any day. Any day, Doc. Give me a dumb car.
Give me a dumb car. My 2000 Chevy Silverado is sitting on 490 some odd thousand miles. I'm getting ready to bust 500,000 on that sucker. Let me tell you something. That car don't talk to me.
No.
It don't say nothing to me.
Mm-mm.
And I am so happy. The only way it talks is the radio is on. And let me tell you something, bro. Even I control that because I control the
Right.
phone.
You control that. You can hear.
You know,
You want to hear it, you can hear it.
I'm trying to tell you, man. This stuff, man, is getting. They're not getting this and got out of control. And again, people don't know how serious stuff is because again, you're not paying attention to this stuff. I mean,
Mhm. Mhm.
they've made again technology, they've made it so it has been, eroding at your
Mhm.
life all these times.
Right.
And so now you're in a situation where it has crept in
Mhm.
subtly, and they've passed law subtly. And so you don't recognize the stuff until you buy a new car, and all of a sudden this stuff is already in the car. Yeah, and you can't disable it, you can't take it out. It's built into the freaking car.
Right.
So what do you do? You know? So this is where you are, man. I mean, when you're talking about surveillance state, you're talking about deep state, you're living in it right now.
And
You're
for
in it.
all of you Apple users that love Siri, let me show you
Boy,
what they're about to do with Siri. Let me show you.
If you have an
tell me
iPhone
they
or
don't
if
know
you
where
use
it's
Apple
running.
products, you're going to want to listen to this. Apple announced on Monday, June 8th, that coming this fall, Siri will begin to act as your AI assistant rather than just a voice command bot. What does that mean? Siri will have access to everything in your phone. Everything. All text messages, it can read and copy all emails. It can go through your photos. It can make connections in your relationships. Everything that you do in your phone, Siri is right there with you doing it at the same time. So for instance, you could say to your phone, hey Siri, figure out what time my mom's flight was supposed to land and add it to my calendar. Siri will then make the connection to who your mom is, go through all of your emails and text messages to find the date that her flight lands, copy that email, and then add it to your calendar. So it can move from app to app. Whole goal of this upgrade that they made to Siri is really understanding the context within your phone. Have made it so that Siri can make performative actions and make decisions on your behalf. Now, whether or not you find that wildly useful or incredibly invasive is obviously entirely up to you. However, I would recommend reviewing your privacy settings when that time comes.
What the what?
Message.
That's message right
Message,
there.
what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But again, man, you've been
Siri can
using
go from
AI.
app
Yeah,
to app. It's like
yeah,
what?
yeah. But you've been using AI, for years, man. This
Yeah.
do a voice prompt, all that good stuff AI. So it's always been there. Like I said, it's always been there.
Mhm.
Um, but again, it's introduced as convenience for Siri. Turn on my 6 a.m. alarms. I like to
Mhm.
call
Mhm.
whoever. So again, it becomes a convenience. You had the hands free, so you in the
Right.
car, you
Right.
got to have hands free.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
again, you can see how it's been tagged this, eroded this way, and subtly placed in, and then you do haphazardly. Next thing you know, the whole doggone freaking thing is automated.
Right.
Because again, that's what they're going for. They tell you, as soon as you buy a phone, the technology in that phone is already obsolete by the time you walk out the door.
Exactly. And
So
you
they
probably
tell
paid
you,
$1,200 for the phone.
yeah, you're paying for like 4 years ago technology.
Exactly.
You ain't touched it yet.
Mm.
But the seriousness of the situation is again because it has been intertwined into these technology things that we use on every single day, and we got so
Mhm.
accustomed to it. To get away from that is going to be number one an issue.
Mhm.
Trying to teach people not to use it, it's going to be like what? You
What?
know,
Why not?
like I said, if people stop using their phone right now, man, some people will literally lose their mind. They could not cope without having the phone in their hand. And it was geared that way. When you talk about social media, you're talking about again everything online. It was geared that that phone would become your lifeline on this planet.
And you're not
If
just talking about young people, you talking about old people too.
I'm the whole gamut, brother,
Yeah.
the whole gamut. But this is why again I appreciate. When
Mhm.
I say I appreciate, man, I appreciate old school. When
Yes,
old
sir.
school be like, I don't need that.
Right.
you know,
Right.
up to up to my dad's final days on this planet, that man would not use bill pay. He would not use nothing on everything. He took it down there for a check and mail it in. Nothing online.
Right.
When they put his medical records online, he went into a conniption. Why you got that online and why is my stuff here and there? I don't want nobody to see that but me. I'm like,
Right.
Rip,
Ain't nothing I can do about this one.
this no, this is above my pay grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking for a file, good luck with that one. But that's where we are. But it's again the dynamics of the conversation is like if you take my parents' ages,
Mhm.
that generation there, man, is
Mhm.
so aloof to all this.
Right.
And so when you're talking about having this stuff shifted down, and when they call in and they talking to Autobot, and in 2 seconds they're getting ready to fight somebody because they want to talk to somebody other than this
Somebody,
Autobot.
right?
You
Yeah.
know, give me a goddamn human in this mug. So it's to that place, man, where you've made this society so dependent upon a thing. You
Mhm.
have sensationalized it so much that now it's a part of your everyday life. So how do you withdraw that? You have no sense of privacy. You don't know what privacy is. That is an oxymoron. There's no such thing as privacy.
No.
Um, and so until we begin to have these conversations on the
Mhm.
grassroots and
Mhm.
show people, consistently of what's happening, yeah, you're gonna get to a place where it just becomes second nature. Just it is what it is, and you never want to get there.
No. You never
Not
wanna
with
get there. Mm-mm.
not with these people in charge, man. Not with these folks who got a mindset that they are God. You
Right.
know,
Right.
you don't want to give them the inkling that it's okay.
Mm-mm.
Nah, it's not okay.
No, no, it's not okay. Because
That's
even
not
like
okay.
this next story talking about bank surveillance. You talking about bank surveillance.
Mhm.
Talking about your money.
That right there.
And we always talk about, right, hey, have some money in your mattress instead of having
Somewhere,
it in that bank. I'm telling you. You better have that. I was telling you, you got to have
somewhere,
it somewhere.
somewhere.
Somewhere. Because
In
history teaches you.
the yeah,
You will come up short if you don't have money in the mattress. I'm telling
right.
you.
A
Mhm.
mattress, a coffee can, something.
Somewhere.
I'm trying to
Mhm.
tell
Okay, here this
you.
beautiful bean footage again.
Mhm.
Did the Federal Reserve just create an infrastructure that will allow them to track all banking spending, purchases online, any assets that people have? I tell you what it is and why there is so much discourse surrounding it online. What is it? There is something called FedNow, which is the infrastructure that the Federal Reserve has put in place in order to transfer funds immediately with banking systems. Let's say, for instance, you're waiting for your automatic deposit to come through, but it's a Friday night and the banks don't open till Monday. So you typically then wouldn't get paid until Monday. FedNow allows them to transfer those funds immediately so that you're not waiting until the holiday is over or the weekend or whatever. What is the discourse surrounding it? Well, people think that it's going to become a CBDC, which is a central bank digital currency system, meaning all of your assets, all of your personal transactions, funds, spending, everything you do online, any dollar you have to your name will be tracked and recorded by the Federal Reserve. There is nothing in place right now that gives them access to your funds. Your funds can currently be tracked by the banking system to begin with. The only thing that can't be tracked is cash. However, one of the articles that is giving people pause on the intent behind this FedNow is by this company called This. When you read through this article, you will see things like this. Pause to read. You will also see things like this. How would they be able to do that unless they had access to those funds? If you haven't read that article in its entirety, I would highly suggest you do so. Some of the top banks that are currently utilizing this infrastructure are these, or they did mention in this article on the Federal Reserve website that it is a slow rollout. And so banks will have to opt into utilizing this infrastructure, which is why it's going to take some time moving forward.
So you got your main culprit, the Heritage
Mhm.
Foundation behind it,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
trying to track cash now.
hmm
Mm,
hmm
mm,
That when you're talking about, man, tracking every possible aspect about your life, that's where you are. That's
mm.
where you are. Because again, when you're looking at the dynamics of this, the only thing they can't track right now is paper.
Yeah,
No, that's the whole point of again crypto. When you're talking about digital currency, because one side you can track that to a degree, but the other side is once that's to go to a black hole, you can never get it back. So
right.
that's that right there. So it's the dynamics of understanding again where you're going, and again the stress is folks don't know the nuances to it because the conversation not being had, and excuse me, when those who could,
Hmm.
they're not going to do it. They're not
Right,
going to disclose to you exactly what's going down the pipe because they know you're going to have a pushback from it.
right.
If you knew all these things that they were tracking already,
They be like, oh
like,
no.
yeah, no,
Mm-mm.
what?
Well,
But again, and it's another situation where, brother, you're doing this stuff so subtle and so quote unquote what it seems to be slow
mm-hmm.
because just like in Atlanta, that voting block of old school, that power block of the Maynard Jackson's era.
Right.
That voting block, man, unfortunately, is dying out. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
that group will push back. You know, did again when things come through Atlanta, if old school back in again, Mayor Jackson days, Emma Darnell days, if it didn't go through the NPUs, it did not happen.
It didn't
You know,
happen.
it did not happen.
Mm-mm.
So the problem is with again now is you're waiting for that generation of pushbacks to die out,
Mm.
and they're not being replaced.
Right.
So
Right.
you don't have that active, engaged voter population that is not only listening to what's going on, they're actually putting some kind of protest and also having the meat behind to do it.
Right.
Again, Kasim Reed found it out real quick. You know, he ran again, and Fifth
Yeah.
Ward said, "Nah, bro,
No. Mm-mm.
you ain't going back up in there."
No. No.
You know,
No.
and,
You're
and they
not.
yeah, and they sent that boy home. He found that
Okay.
out real quick. You know, but again, you don't have that kind of unfortunately engaged populace like that. And folks know that. They know that old school, because of time, that there is just going to fade itself out. And this new crop of quote unquote engaged people, really, you get your information just from a TikTok, social media platform, and you think that's it.
No.
No, again, how can a data center get 28 million gallons of water from a county and nobody knows it?
Nobody knows. Mm-mm.
Nobody in the whole freaking county didn't alarm go bells off. We got 28 million gallons going out the window, and nobody knows it until it's gone. Yeah, right. So
In the state of
that's
Georgia, you number three
three, baby.
in the country
And the
for
freak
data
out.
centers, but
Go
nobody
figure that.
knows that.
Nobody knows it
Mm.
because again, you're protesting Target. Okay.
Okay. All right.
And see I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not touching anybody. I'm saying that's the issue. When you're getting this low hanging fruit that has no kind of really
Mm-mm.
ROI to it. There's no kind of return on investment to this.
No.
Um, they can slip in these data centers. They can slip in these laws that you got to have these things by 2027. Next thing you look up, you let where does it come from?
Right.
Too late. And so now you spend the next 5, 10 years trying to undo what it took them 10 years to put in place. You think they're going to just give that up? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
you
No.
know so this is where you're getting ready again. It's getting ready to hit because that
Yeah.
population that kind of held that stuff up, Jay, it's unfortunately leaving here.
It
And you
is.
can
It
you
is.
can tell it. you know
Yeah.
even this new crop of leaders.
Now we have to also put it on old school too, because old school didn't bring up or actually bring up someone to replace them to
No.
say, okay, now when we leave off the earth, this is the
Hmm.
group that you all got to go to now.
Hmm.
And so on both ends, it's like, okay, maybe the new school didn't come in to say, hey, we want to learn, or we want to find out. Well, the old
Hmm.
school never said, okay, well, I need to find a replacement for me.
Because you took ownership of something that's not yours. That's
Not
what that's
yours. Right.
yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah.
For those who say they followed the teacher, okay.
Hmm.
Again, the teacher didn't come to give you a kumbaya moment. That ain't what he came to do.
No, no.
But if you want to take it there, feel free. But if you really follow the teacher,
Mhm.
then he showed you up front before you even get started.
Got it.
You better have an exit plan in place. Yeah,
You
that's
got to.
just bottom line. And that's it's an amazing thing. When you start a business and part of your business plan, the first thing you got to have in that sucker before you start with the budget,
Yeah.
you better have an exit plan. If this thing fails, how am I getting out of this? So if you got to have it in a business plan, surely, hopefully, these societal leaders recognize you got to have an exit strategy before you even get started because time tells you nothing is forever. Nothing is forever.
Because
And
that
so
man said, that man said this. He says, it's more advantageous that I leave you.
telling you. And I'm going to leave
And I'm
you.
going.
I'm not staying
I'm not
here.
staying here.
No, sir,
No,
I'm not staying in
in
here.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Because and
It's the
that's what it is. That's what it
yeah,
is. So
yeah, exactly.
if people who say they follow would adopt just that simple,
That's
you
simple.
know, that one simple page, if you
Mhm,
get nothing else, if you follow as
mhm.
public leadership, you recognize again that you're supposed to be training up and
Right,
empowering other folks to
right,
take the seat that you
right,
don't own. You're just
right.
occupying it for a season,
Exactly,
and
exactly.
so you should be prepping somebody because
Mhm.
they're out there. I do
Yeah,
believe that there are some critical individuals out there that want to learn, that need
right,
to learn, like your
right.
man Stockbridge. I'm sorry.
Woo! Did you take a shot?
Boy, it was right there. I'm sorry. It's right there.
But not right. I
Yeah.
got to say something about that now. Got to
Talk
say
to your
something
boy.
about that now.
Talk to your boy.
Somebody should have told that man, son, as soon as you take that pledge, they running surveillance on your tail from that point
Well,
in time. Because you ain't been in, he ain't been in office but 7 months, 7, 8 months.
he didn't spend a whole lot of money.
No,
If they done cut the card off.
exactly. They done cut it off already, Doc.
Boy, they done cut the card on you, boy.
Come on, man.
Um, oh, again.
But now
Mm, mm,
the book does
mm,
say
mm.
never put a novelist in that position.
That's what the book say.
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 You know.
I'm like, somebody should have said something.
Well,
Something.
okay, let's take that angle. Somebody should have said something. And let's just take the high road. Let's say somebody did. Okay,
Mm,
let's just take the high road. Just
okay,
just just for
okay,
argument. Let's just
okay.
say
I
somebody
got
did.
you. I got
The problem is
you.
problem there, boy.
Mhm.
Um, if you have not matured
Yeah, 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 yeah.
to the level that you need to be in a chair such as that chair will tear you to pieces.
Tear you
The
to pieces.
moment you sit in that chair,
Mm-hmm.
because the greatest drug to
Is
any man is power.
power.
Or perceived power, however you
Perceived
want to
power.
put it. Yeah, because you
Yeah.
ain't got none because they
You
cut the
ain't got
cord off.
nothing.
So they
Because, bro,
showed
you
you
was
you ain't
just
got
a
no power.
man now. Come on.
Yeah, they showed you ain't got no power. Cut him off.
Come on.
And bring all our stuff back.
Back.
So the thing about it is, if you have not matured to that level that you can
Right.
sit in that chair, any chair,
Right.
then you're
Right.
setting yourself up for failure. I mean,
Yeah.
again, the teacher taught you that.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
he
know,
did.
Satan took that man to the highest pinnacle and tell him to sit in his chair in the temple. Jesus said,
Mm,
"Nah,
no. Mm-mm.
no, player, we ain't doing
Mm.
that right there.
I
Um,
sit in that chair, but not yet.
not yet, not yet. And
Not
you
yet.
ain't gonna tell me where I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you where I'm gonna sit there.
Right.
But that's the whole thing. You have these young individuals. Again, they got a lot of zeal. I mean, you
Yeah.
got a lot of
Yeah.
oomph,
Yeah.
but you have this thing that you lack called maturity. And don't take it the wrong way.
Right.
You know, you tell a 22-year-old person or 27-year-old person or even 30-year-old person you're immature, they go ballistic.
Mm.
Why?
Mm-mm. Yeah. Why?
I'm not insulting your intelligence. I'm just telling you you're immature.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it comes down to certain dynamics, if you have never experienced or been in the context of that thing, then you're coming in naive.
Right.
You're coming in with a lot of assumptions, and you're
Right.
coming in again with a lot of misinformation. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore,
Yeah.
if
Well.
you put you're immature as it relates to that thing. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, the
Mm-hmm.
wise thing for you to do is do like the man told you. Sit down somewhere and learn.
Learn.
Learn
Learn.
first,
Learn first.
then do. Okay,
Yeah.
don't do and then try to learn.
It don't
Bro,
work.
yeah, you messed that up, boy. You put the cart before the
Mm-hmm.
horse. As your daddy said, you went in backwards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
turn
Yeah. Yeah.
around and go face forward. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is again, you learn first, then you do. You don't try to do and then learn as you go. That's not how this thing works. And I think that's what a lot of young people unfortunately mess up in is where they try to do and then learn as they go. And
Right.
in that learning, you're gonna get slaughtered.
You're gonna get slaughtered because you were not truthful with yourself in the beginning to
No.
say, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, you 20-something years old. You had not held office before,
That boy.
except for maybe what, student union or something.
I don't know. It don't
But
matter.
anyway, it don't
You
matter.
ain't, you
But
ain't
you're
did
talking about running
nothing.
a whole city.
Yeah, you ain't did
Come
nothing,
on,
player.
man. Come on, man. Come
And
on.
again, I get it. But
I
even
get
the
it.
book tell you, zeal without knowledge is dangerous. It tells you that.
Dangerous, dog. Mm.
So,
Yeah.
so get a clue. But it's for all of them. It's for your Keisha Lance Bottoms. It's for all of them. I mean,
Yeah.
get a
Yeah.
clue.
Yeah.
It's only because again
Mm-hmm.
people ride a certain wave and they
Right.
think that this is reality. No, you're just on the apex of that wave, and you got a
Right.
different perspective, and you just
Right.
riding the momentum.
Right.
But see,
Exactly.
the danger with that is every wave got to come to the shore.
You're right.
You hear me, player?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah. Yeah.
wave has got to come to the shore. And when that
Mm-hmm.
sucker hit, all that momentum and all that thrust and all that zeal goes out the window. And it got to
Mm-hmm.
roll back and come back in. So that's the whole thing. People ride this
Mm-hmm.
thing, but then they crash into reality.
He
That's what
said
it
they
is.
crash into reality.
Boy, they crash into reality and be like,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, that hurt.
Ooh.
Yeah, it did. Because again, you think just because you carry Metro Atlanta, you carry Georgia. No,
No, no, no, no, no,
that ain't reality,
no.
baby.
No, that ain't reality.
Metro Atlanta is not the reality of Georgia.
Mm-mm.
You just riding the rave until that
Yeah.
sucker crash into reality.
Right.
So it's with anything, man. I just pick one. It doesn't matter. It's just folks ride these things that they think again will carry you somewhere.
Right.
But
Right.
sooner or later, that sucker's going to have a come to Jesus moment with reality, and all bets are off.
And especially right when you don't know the origin of a thing,
That right there.
that will tear you up
That right there.
right there.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
So
That will tear you up, bro.
so it's incumbent upon those again. I'm 55, so I I know what I ain't gonna do. Uh,
Right.
I know
Exactly.
all, you
Exactly.
know. I can tell you specifically what I ain't gonna do. Now, that just ain't gonna happen. But these young folks, again, especially your college, you're in your
Yeah.
20s, you're coming
Yeah.
out. You need to get involved.
Right.
You really need to get involved with so many aspects because the dynamics for this generation behind us is
Mm-hmm.
totally different. You're battling with economic issues. You're
Yes.
battling with
Yes.
environmental
Mm-hmm.
issues. You're
Mm-hmm.
battling with so many
Yeah.
different dynamics
Mm-hmm.
that you don't appreciate the weight of it because again you're in this la la land. Honestly, you're in this incubator that you call your own little world,
Right.
but you don't recognize that if somebody's sucking 29 million gallons of water out your county,
Mm-hmm.
you better be concerned about 5 years
That's
and
the
know what does that
problem.
look like. That's
Right.
that's the problem, player. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. It
When
is.
when you got when you got wildfires popping up everywhere, what what are you thinking about? When you're looking at that you can now print your meat. What?
What?
You're
Yeah.
growing meat inside of a science lab, and you can
Mm-hmm.
print 3D steaks. I'm like, what? This is what
Mm-mm.
y'all doing there. This is what you
Right.
eating.
Right.
You
Right.
know.
Right. Right.
So when you look at what these young folks in the generation have in the face, you don't appreciate the conversation because you don't know the
Mm-mm.
depth of it because you're
Right.
living in this little bubble. But sooner than later, that's gonna pop. And
It's
when
gonna
it
pop.
does,
Yeah. You go,
and when it does, you're gonna
ooh.
be like, "Oh snap!
Oh
Yeah,
snap.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah."
My, my.
Certain things you're taking for granted, you
Mm.
might want to look at that again.
Might want to look at that just a little
Just
bit
saying,
closer, you know,
just a little bit.
a little bit. And then, you know, now we got apps operating in Israel.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm? Apps operating in Israel.
Hmm.
And matter of fact, we are with Israel in war with Iran. Mm.
That boy,
Very interesting. I remember
always.
we used to say back in the day,
Mm.
follow the money, and
Yeah,
you'll see the reason why. Just follow the money.
that's what it is.
Here we go to this beautiful bean footage right quick before we go.
Waze is not the only app that has come forth to say that they're operating under Israeli privacy laws. There are quite a few other apps. I'm going to tell you what those are that are also operating out of Israel. Okay, to start, this is just some of the personal information that these apps collect once you grant them permission. An app called Free Map Israel was originally founded in 2006 and later changed its name to Waze. In 2013, Google purchased that app for $1.1 billion, and they kept those headquarters in Tel Aviv because that is where the talent team is. That is where the engineering headquarters are. Why there's an uproar now is because there is now an entire Israeli requirements section located in the privacy policy. Privacy policy explicitly states the data controller responsible for your information is Waze Mobile Ltd, a company incorporated and operating under the laws of Israel in Tel Aviv. Why so many people are talking about this now is because now the privacy policy explicitly states that Israel has data rights. You know who else does? Facetune. Viber also does. Fiverr also does. Mobileye also does. That's installed in millions of vehicles worldwide. Anything owned by Lightrix. Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, all of them have purchased Israeli startups. All of this is a lot more integrated than any of us knew. It is only now coming to light because US privacy laws are changing and now require transparency. Not even in all circumstances yet, but I think we're going to see a lot more of this come to light.
Message.
Message. You better stop downloading all these goddamn apps. Boy.
Boy.
Yeah. That's what, I mean, I'm telling you, man, when you get all this stuff and you get them little that long message that you don't really read, just click yes. Okay. Yeah, you don't know what you said yes to. You're just clicking it. But these privacy rights, these privacy laws, man, again, for an app to tell you that they operate under Israeli privacy laws, you don't know what that sucker includes as far as what they can dig in, how they can dig into it, how they can keep it. That's a whole different kind of government with a whole different kind of mindset, player. But these apps, that's exactly what they operate up under. And so you got to be very careful. That's why when you go into your private settings, stuff like that, you do need to take time to peruse, if nothing but that privacy law section. Take a good peek at that sucker.
Exactly.
Because again, if you don't know where this stuff is originating from, if you don't know where this stuff is being captured to, you have no clue. Again, this is how cynical this stuff is, and sadistic these folks are thinking. You embed this stuff, man, into an app, and you just use it every single day. You have no idea what they're tracking and what they're collecting, and that's why you walk into a store, come back out. By the time you get in your car, you got 4 or 5 ads popping up on your phone, like
what you were just looking for.
You know, how in the hell, player? Wait a minute, but that's how it is. You know,
and then all your information going to Israel
over there. And I'm telling you, man, and again, they have, and I don't have time for this, but them boys just done sold, and it's not just Texas. Texas picked up 4 SUVs at $1 million a piece that can turn them suckers into a cell tower, a mobile freaking cell tower.
Well, since you already put it out there, here you come.
So apparently Texas just bought 4 souped-up Israeli surveillance vans for their law enforcement, each one valued at $1.2 million, making the entire fleet of all 4 souped-up Israeli surveillance Chevy Tahoes totaling at $4.49 million. Of course, I wanted to know what kind of tech was inside of those, like why would they be such high value? And as it turns out, it looks like they've got something called FelcoNet that's installed on each one. FelcoNet is a cell phone tower emulator, meaning it makes smart devices connect to it thinking that it's a cell tower, therefore collecting all of that information that a cell tower would, using a company called Cognite, which has also signed a $5 million contract with U.S. law enforcement agencies, and that was earlier this year in March of 26. Each one of these vans has inside like this little surveillance area, this high tech where they're utilizing OSINT and SIGINT. We talk about that all the time on here, signals intelligence, open source intelligence. I've actually given you guys resources for SIGINT in the past, so it's all signals intelligence, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, so all of that connects to this van. They can then gather and gain all of that information. And finally, they use something called Nixite, which all of their Israeli analysts bring all of this information together and then hand it over in a nice little packet. Texas isn't the only one. Also, it's New York, Albuquerque, and Florida also have contracts with them, and I know that they're trying to expand to any U.S. state they can get on board. So anyway, just thought I'd let you guys know.
There it is.
Message.
Bruh, $1 million? What? And
I
that,
mean, they can latch on to your phone, and that's
yes,
all she wrote. That's all she wrote.
because the truck acts like it's a cell tower.
That's all she wrote.
That's all.
When you're talking about police state, bro, you have no idea again
Right.
what this thing looks like, because again, it's just you don't. I guess, for lack of a better word, you can't fathom in your mind that an SUV could literally turn into a mobile cell tower. That just don't, like it's in the Jetsons era.
Right.
No, it's right here and there. Why you think having them data centers, player? Where
Well,
all this
that's
stuff
why they
going?
told you in the Jetsons era this was coming.
They try to tell you, but
Yeah.
we just look. Yeah, we just laughed at it. But it's
Yeah.
here.
It's
It's
here.
here. It's here. And again, folks better wake up and understand deeply how this thing goes.
Yes,
Have
sir.
conversations about it, especially again on whatever particular sphere of influence that you have. That
Right.
these conversations can be had again at the grassroots, because that's where it's going to actually affect some kind of change.
That's right.
Because if not, bro, again, this stuff is already here. It's not like it's coming.
No, it's here.
It's already here.
Right.
Okay.
It's here.
Yeah.
Uncommon sense. Where we go from current affairs, culture, faith, and issues that others just won't touch. This is where insight meets reality. Every
That thing.
Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. right here on thetruevision.net and also since-you-asked.net or .com, since-you-asked.com. And man, whoo, boy, we just touching the surface of this stuff, man. We ain't even digging deep yet.
Not
And
yet, player.
not yet, but we going there. We going there. You have a good night. Until next
Yeah.
time, we'll see you.
Peace.
Peace.